Now at 9, a local service dog and its owner got recognized today for their training. Plus, the Pittsburgh Fire Department holds a job fair for future firefighters in the area.
Could a 32-hour work week be coming to a state near you? One Maryland lawmaker has a bill to make it happen. I'm Lauren Blanchard in Washington with more on why he says it could be good for employees and employers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Cale Chapman. A service dog and its owner got recognized for their training earlier today in Joplin. KOAM's Yana Adala attended the graduation event for the two at Cupo Joe and has more.
After 4 months of training, veteran Larry Millis and his 2-year-old standard poodle service dog Archie are ready to be recognized for their achievement.
He performs tasks for me to keep crowds away, to block people from coming up on me, to keep people off the rear of me. He can separate crowds around me. He does a lot of tasks for me, but he also alerts me when I have a headache coming on also for a migraine.
Millis says it is a great honor to receive a dog and go through the training, which is provided by Heartland Canines for Veterans.
That service that dog is providing is medically changing the mindset of the veteran to be able to go out in public and be able to reintegrate into society.
Burgess says at the moment, the national average cost to train a service dog is anywhere between $10,000 and $30,000.
We rely on grants as well as the giving process. There's plenty of organizations out there that love to find a good nonprofit organization to donate to, and it's great for us because not only do we help veterans, but we also help animals. So and we help the communities. So that's a great reason for people to want to donate to us because they know that's going back into the veterans that have served us.
Once a veteran is ready to join the program, the group makes sure they find a dog that will meet the needs of the veteran. Burgess says they work with a lot of local breeders, so they know the demeanor of the dog.
He's fun to play with. He's very laid back. He's very easy. He takes everything off voice command and hand signals, so he's pretty easy to work with. You'll notice I snap my fingers and he sits, so he does really, really well.
In Joplin, Yana Haudala, KOAM News.
Burgess says the program has been running since 2015 and is looking to have 8 service dog recognitions this year. The Pittsburgh Fire Department hosted a job fair today for those interested in fire service careers. Attendees were able to tour Fire Station Number 1 and meet members of the PFD team. Department staff had demonstrations on how to utilize training equipment, and presentations were given to discuss working for a small community fire department as well as joining the team. The City of Pittsburgh Human Resources Department was on site to answer questions and provide support through the application process.
The outcome I'd like to see out of the job fair is, getting a better turnout for us at the department, living with these guys 24 hours at a time, putting our life in their hands. We want the best of the best here. And it's nice for the community to come out and see what we do and how we do it to make sure that they are the right fit for us and make sure that, we're the right fit for them because, we're all brothers and sisters in this and we want to make sure that we have people that want to be here, and I think getting us out in public is a great way to do that.
If you are interested in a career in fire services, please contact the Pittsburgh Fire Department. The Southeast Kansas Wedding Expo happened today at the Carbon Creek Event Center. It brought wedding vendors together from across the 4 states for couples to view. Vendors offered showcasing services on event planning, wedding decorating, and wedding venues. Admission was free for couples and their entourage.
It seems like, I think it really is just that weddings are always happening. There's always people getting married every year. Some years it's more, some years it's less, of course, but weddings are always happening. People are always falling in love, finding each other, and deciding they want to spend their lives together. So
couples could register to win a $250 gift certificate from Carbon Creek.
But it's a constant demand. And
meteorologist Sam Lane joins us now for a first look at the weather.
Well, we had a beautiful day across the 4 states, lots of sunshine. It was a little bit on the windy side, but those winds are starting to decrease now. Radar is all clear. Over the last 36 hours, we were pretty chilly yesterday morning with lows in the teens, made it up into the 40s. Then this morning, we stayed pretty much in the 40s. And this afternoon, we made it all the way up into the mid 50s. And it looks like we have a pretty nice day shaping up for tomorrow. But First, we have to get through this evening, 46 at 10 o'clock, down through the 40s into the 30s by tomorrow morning with a low of 36. And taking a look down the lane, we're going to have a warmer Sunday, increasing clouds on Monday, but the next storm system will start to impact our areas. We move into Tuesday with some rain and also some Wednesday showers. And of course, also winter is going to try to make a comeback as well. I'll have more details on that coming up in the forecast in just a little bit.
President Biden is scheduled to deliver his State of the Union address to a joint session of Congress on Tuesday. It will be the chief executive's first State of the Union speech since Republicans won back control of the House in November's midterm elections. That brought to an end 2 years of the Democrats controlling the federal government. As Mr. Biden delineates his priorities to lawmakers, he will have to be mindful of the fact that all of his proposals will now require Republican support. President Biden takes action on the Chinese spy balloon that spent days traveling across the U.S. Fox's Kevin Uretsky has the story.
After facing increased pressure to take action, President Joe Biden moves to shoot down the Chinese spy balloon that entered U.S. airspace earlier this week. The balloon was spotted Saturday morning over the Carolinas as it headed towards the Atlantic coast. According to 4 U.S. officials, President Biden gave the green light to take it down over the Atlantic.
They successfully took it down, and I want to compliment our aviators who did it.
Ahead of the operation, the FAA issued a ground stop on all flights departing and arriving to Charleston and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, as well as Wilmington, North Carolina. The FAA citing a need to support the Department of Defense in a national security effort.
What we need from our president, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, is strength. We need deterrence.
The president's decision comes amid heavy criticism from opponents who say the White House should have taken action sooner. The balloon, which violated U.S. airspace and international law, has been floating across the U.S. for several days. China claims it's a civilian aircraft used for weather research. The Pentagon, however, says it's a spy balloon.
This is a very tangible reminder of us that China threat is real and it's constant.
The incident prompted Secretary of State Antony Blinken to postpone a meeting in Beijing this weekend. It's a meeting which was already aimed at easing tensions between the U.S. and China. Efforts are now underway to recover balloon debris from the Atlantic Ocean. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time to honor another four-state hero. Harry Owen served in the U.S. Navy from 1942 to 1952. The Joplin native served during both World War II and the Korean conflict. To Harry W. Owen, we salute you, our four-state hero. And coming up, a beauty trend that is growing in popularity for being organic. We'll take a look. Beauty regimens can range from the simple to the extreme, with facials involving standard practices and others taking a more unusual approach. Fox News correspondent Jackie Ibanez takes a look at a growing trend where people are letting live snails crawl on their faces.
How far would you go to get radiant skin? While there's a bunch of different types of facials out there, beauty specialists in Syria are treating clients with a technique using live snails.
It was very useful for me.
These albino snails are prized for their slime. Beauticians credit them for moisturizing the skin, helping to produce a glowing complexion, and even reducing signs of aging. Workers apply the critters onto clean skin, where they crawl around for about 30 minutes.
My skin became softer and my pores became smaller.
Officials here say their snail facials are growing in popularity because they don't use any harsh ingredients.
There was a huge turnout because people are willing to return to natural, pure, and organic things because chemicals always have side effects.
Muhammad Alafar and his sister are running this snail operation. The siblings own roughly 1,500 of these slippery creatures, which they say require a lot of attention.
Snails are very specific. Some beauty centers ask us to sell them snails, but they will not be able to raise them. They need special care and nutrition.
Meanwhile, using snails for beauty and health reasons can be traced back to ancient Greece, where people would crush up the animal and apply it to cuts on their skin. But if putting live snails on your face just isn't your cup of tea, you can find a number of face washes, creams, and toners containing snail secretion here in the States. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
Your blood pressure may play an important role in your brain health. A study which will be presented at the American Stroke Conference says that intensive treatment for high blood pressure was effective in fixing and reversing brain damage. Researchers say treatment significantly shrank the enlargement of perivascular spaces in the brain. Those spaces become enlarged due to aging, inflation, and dying cells in the nervous system, spurring negative brain health. Women who experience early menopause may be at higher risk for stroke. A new study published in the medical journal Neurology says women who have higher estrogen exposure throughout their lives may lower their stroke risk. It also showed that women who use contraceptives or HRT had less strokes by the time they entered their mid-60s. Other stroke-inducing factors such as smoking, age, and blood pressure were also taken into account. Meteorologist Sam Lane is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, we'll take a look at a new bill proposed in Maryland involving 4-day work weeks.
Well, we have started off the weekend right with lots of sunshine today, a little bit on the windy side, but those winds are starting to die down now, including in Seneca, Missouri at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Winds are dying down just a little bit under mostly fair skies, and that's going to continue through the overnight hours, and I think tomorrow looks to be a pretty nice day across the area. This afternoon we made it up to 55 degrees after starting out at 38. Of course, that was above the normals of 47 and 26 and not close to those records set back a long time ago. Radar is all clear right now over most of the entire central part of the country, so we're going to have to turn our attention to the west coast. That's where the next storm system that's going to impact us is now making its presence known and on shore. You can see the spiral there just off the coast of California. There's also another storm system behind that one, so there are several of them stacked across the Pacific Ocean that will start to make their presence known in our area as we head towards the early part of next week and also towards Friday of next week. 46 right now in Joplin, south wind at 15, feels like 40 out there. So a little bit of a wind chill. Dew point is 33 degrees and the pressure is currently falling. Winds are out of the south right now with temperatures in the mid-40s for the most part, 48 in Welch as well as Veneta. A little bit cooler up in Nevada where they're currently sitting at 45. Cooler still over at Stockton with 43 degrees and 41 over there in Monette. Temperatures are generally around 10 to 15 degrees warmer tonight than they were 24 hours ago, so at least we're on the positive side and moving in the right direction. Winds today were out of the south and they were pretty strong, but tomorrow the winds are going to die down just a little bit. That's good news, especially as we go into the afternoon hours, generally less than 10 miles per hour. But on Monday, the winds are going to come back again with generally speeds around 25 to 30 miles per hour in the morning. And then as we go through the afternoon, winds are going to get up close to 40, 45 miles per hour again in the afternoon on Monday. So a pretty windy day shaping up for Monday. All right, let's take a look at the forecast for tonight. Lows in the 30s, especially up towards the north, mid-30s and even some 40s down to the south with light and variable winds. Then tomorrow, a great day with mostly sunny skies, a few clouds passing by with highs in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees across the entire area. So it'll be a pretty nice Sunday. Then as we go into Monday, mostly cloudy skies with the winds picking up in the morning. You can see the arrows here, generally in the 40s in the morning hour. And then in the afternoon, we're going to see the cloudy skies stay with us with temperatures in the 50s and 60s with strong south winds bringing up some Gulf moisture. Then a front's going to drop down from the north and west. That's going to cool us down a little bit, and that front's going to wash out in our area, keeping the chances of rain going into Wednesday. Here's a look at the storm system as it moves into the southern United States. Then it kind of kicks out into our area on Tuesday and Wednesday with the mild air starting to shift off towards the south and east, and that storm system will be with us over on Monday as well. Rainfall amounts are going to be higher down to the south, where it could approach 3/4 of an inch down there, lighter amounts as you go further to the north and west. Over the next 7 days, nice day tomorrow, 59, 62 on Monday with cloudy skies. Rain moves in on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then unfortunately we have to mention a chance of snow on Friday. So winter just won't give up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. A mild week is not too bad.
Not too bad. We'll take the snow here and there.
Yeah, sprinkle it in for some variety.
There you go. All right.
All righty, well, coming up, why popular media apps employees are going on strike and why they're allowed to do it. Unemployment is at lows not seen for decades, and the latest job numbers show a strong labor market. So with that news, it may be surprising that in Maryland they are considering a bill to shorten workers' hours without docking pay. Studies show it may actually pay off for employers. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard is in Washington with more.
Who wouldn't want to get to the weekend one day sooner? If you think your boss would never go for it, one bill proposed in Maryland hopes they'll think again.
Employees suffer from burnout, they suffer from stress, health problems, mental health problems from working too much.
Maryland Democratic Delegate Vaughn Stewart based his bill off research by 4-Day Week Global. The advocacy group found companies with shorter weeks had higher profits and productivity, better recruitment and retention.
And we're not talking about 4 10-hour days. We're talking about 32 hours in a week.
Bills to reduce employee hours without a reduction in pay have been introduced in the past, like the 32-Hour Workweek Act in the U.S. House, or a bill in California would have redefined a work week to 32 hours. Neither has been successful. Vaughn says what he's proposing offers incentives rather than penalties. His bill's pilot program would divide a $750,000 fund to businesses in the form of a tax credit for trying it out.
We don't want a one-size-fits-all policy here.
Other lawmakers agree the government should not mandate work week changes, but are interested if the studies prove to be true.
Quite frankly, I would love to see a 4-day work week. That's really up to the business, large and small, to determine the best productivity for their employees. It's not up to government to decide.
Vaughn's bill still has a long road ahead. The Maryland State House and Senate will hold hearings on it this month. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
A strong jobs report for January gives indicators of returning life enjoyment, thanks to one industry. The U.S. economy added about 507,000 jobs last month, and the leisure and hospitality industry added the most with about 128,000. Leisure and hospitality jobs include bars, restaurants, and recreation places. Despite the good gains, one investment economist says the numbers are still about 1 million off pre-pandemic employment levels. More than 40 contractors for YouTube Music are going on strike to protest return to office policies. They are supposed to report to an office in Austin, Texas on Monday. The contractors work for a third-party company called Cognizant, and most of them say they were hired as remote employees. The Alphabet Workers Union is backing the strike in an effort to get more flexibility from YouTube's parent company, Google. Up next, how a Minnesota police officer became a hero to an older couple when they needed it most. A police officer went above and beyond the call of duty to help a Minnesota couple when they needed it most. John Lauritsen shows us what the officer and his wife did to make another couple's lives much easier.
It was a Friday morning, right after a snowstorm and just before Christmas. 72-year-old Bob Click had been working in his garage, but almost as soon as he walked back into the house, he collapsed.
I knew he had to be seen. Something was wrong.
Bob's wife, Diana, had just had foot surgery, so she called 911 to get help. Police and paramedics arrived and took Bob to the hospital, where it was determined that an undetected infection had turned into kidney failure.
Next thing I remember, I'm in Maple Grove North.
Laying, not moving, he got pneumonia.
It was a challenging time for the couple, which is why the next day Diana was surprised to hear noises outside her front door. When she took a look, she found a man and a woman removing ice and snow from their driveway.
I thought it was our association working on the driveway, and I just went and peeked out, and it wasn't the association. It was these two people that I didn't know.
Turns out she did know the man. Community Service Officer Mark Ryan, who helped Bob the day before, had returned with his wife on his day off to clear the driveway.
I was dumbfounded. I didn't even know what to say to him. I mean, thank you wasn't even enough.
He went home that night, explained to his wife, Carrie. It bothered him, and the next day they just got up and jumped into action to go clear the driveway.
Maple Grove Police Commander Adam Lindquist says Officer Ryan wasn't looking for recognition, and it's not the first time he's done something like this.
He just thinks if more people commit acts of kindness, this should be the norm.
Bob was in the hospital for a few days before he was released. About a week after he got home, he and Diana got another surprise visit. Officer Ryan returned to see how Bob and Diana were doing.
I just thanked them, you know, unbelievable kindness. You don't see that nowadays.
30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports are coming your way. Coming up, why the Oklahoma governor won't sign a bill to punish those who receive abortions. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt announced on Friday that he would not sign a bill punishing women for having abortions in the state. Andy Weber has more.
Senate Bill 287 was filed by Republican State Senator Warren Hamilton of McCurtain. The legislation takes out a key exception from Oklahoma's abortion law. Note the line drawn that crosses out this section, which protects women from being charged or convicted of any criminal offense in the death of her unborn child. Now this bill is just that, a bill. It would need to pass through both chambers of the legislature, where it has many opponents. If it makes it to the governor's desk, he has previously committed to signing pro-life legislation.
I promised Oklahomans that I would sign every piece of pro-life legislation that hit my desk.
But he tells me a law like Senate Bill 287 goes too far.
Would you sign a bill like that?
No, we're not going to punish women in the state of Oklahoma. That's preposterous. We want to protect moms and we want to protect babies in Oklahoma. We've been very clear about that, but we'll look at all those bills. There's a lot of stuff that's filed this year. There's actually 3,000 that our policy team is going through in depth right now.
Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us now.
Thank you very much, Cale. It's been a beautiful day across the area. Lots of sunshine. A little bit on the windy side, but those winds are dying down now. Radar is clear across our area, and it's going to stay that way for at least another couple of days. Temperatures have been very cold, especially tomorrow morning. Then we got into the 40s, but this afternoon, we made it all the way up into the mid-50s, so that felt pretty nice. Now temperatures are dropping through the 40s into the 30s, and by tomorrow morning, around 36 for our low. Looking down the lane, we have some changes in our forecast. First, a warm Sunday, and then some clouds coming in on Monday, and then those clouds will produce some rain by the time we move into Tuesday, and those rain showers will continue into Wednesday, and we have a chance of snow as well, and I'll tell you all about that coming up in our forecast in just a little bit. Cale?
Thank you, Sam. House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan sent subpoenas to the Department of Justice, FBI, and Department of Education on Friday. They come from that committee's new subcommittee dedicated to investigating the alleged weaponization of the federal government. Back in 2021, tensions were mounting at those meetings over mask mandates, anti-racism courses, and LGBTQ+ policies. The National School Boards Association wrote to Biden requesting federal help to address violence against school administrators. Judiciary Republicans now want to see the Justice Department's communications on the matter. The FBI is now involved in the murder investigation of a New Jersey councilwoman. Her name is Eunice Dwumfor. Police Wednesday found the councilwoman dead in her car after she was shot multiple times. Fox News correspondent Molly Line has the details.
Police and prosecutors are delving into all the connections this young, successful New Jersey councilwoman and mother had in her life. And now the FBI is offering assistance in the investigation into who targeted and killed Eunice Dwumfor. The Sayreville councilwoman was murdered inside her white SUV just outside of her home shortly before 7:30 Wednesday night. The 30-year-old Republican was serving a 2-year term that started in 2022. The local GOP party chairwoman, Dwumfor's campaign manager, described her as a young leader in the party, juggling a job and motherhood.
We are all weeping in between trying to process this despicable act. You know, it's hard, as we know, it's hard enough to lose someone. And when it happens like this, it makes it even just more difficult to process.
Dwumfor was recently married, had a 12-year-old daughter, and was active in her church, serving as the director of churches for the Nigerian-based Champions Royal Assembly, described as a world-renowned international ministry on her LinkedIn page.
We believe it's very personal because she was shot 7 times in the face, and another 7 shots were hitting everywhere. So for somebody to get so close to somebody and shoot them so many times, it has to be personal.
The community will come together on Tuesday in a memorial to honor Dwumfor's life. In Boston, Molly Line, Fox News.
Still ahead, why a middle school in Vermont is at risk of losing fan involvement at school-related games.
Well, friends, we had a great Saturday across the area. It was on the windy side, but those winds are starting to die down just a little bit. But we had some nice sunshine. And right now in Seneca, Missouri, at the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, pretty nice night shaping up for those folks, as well as across the entire four-state area. This afternoon, we made it up to 55 degrees after starting out at 38. And of course, that was above the normals of 47 and 26. 78 degrees back in 2008. That'd feel real nice. -4 back in 1996. Radar's all clear, not only here in the four-state area, but pretty much in the entire region across the South Central Plains. We have to go all the way to the west coast before we start to see the next storm system that's now starting to move on shore. And this system is going to take its time getting here and won't get here until about Tuesday. That's when the rain chances really start to increase. Right now, 46 degrees in Joplin, south wind at 15, so it feels like 40. Dew point is 33 degrees, so that's increasing just a little bit, and the pressure is currently falling. Temperatures across the region are in the mid-40s across most of the area, 41 in Monette and Cassville for some of the coolest readings, still close to 50 in Sedan right now at 49. And we're generally around 10 to 15 degrees warmer now than we were 24 hours ago, so at least we're on the positive side as far as the temperatures go. Winds this afternoon were pretty strong. They're now starting to decrease, and by tomorrow morning we'll see wind speeds around 5 to 10 miles per hour, and that will continue into the afternoon. They're going to turn around to the south again. By the time we move into Monday, the winds are really going to get cranking again with wind speeds around 25 to 30 miles per hour, and by Monday afternoon, yep, we're going to be basically going back over 40 miles per hour with some gusts up to 45, bringing up that Gulf moisture. Temperatures tonight are going to drop down into the 30s and 20s, especially up towards the north with 28 in Garnett, 30 in Mound City, upper 30s and low 40s down in Delaware County with 40 at Grove. And then tomorrow we'll see mostly sunny skies with temperatures in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees. And then Sunday night into Monday, we'll see those south winds starting to kick up again with lows generally in the upper 30s to lower 40s. And then Monday afternoon, we'll stay with the clouds with temperatures making it into the 60s across the area with those strong south winds. All right, and then we have a cold front dropping down from the north and west Monday night into Tuesday, keeping our temperatures dropping down into the 30s and 40s with a good chance of rain across our area. Rainfall amounts are expected to be higher down to the south where they could get close to 3/4 of an inch, lighter amounts to the north and to the west. Over the next 7 days, looking pretty good for the most part tomorrow, and then rain on Tuesday and Wednesday with, yes, a chance of snow on Friday because, you know, it is still winter and it is the four states.
Yeah, well, we can't forget it. It's February.
Right.
It's still going to get cold.
All right.
All righty. Well, thank you, Sam. We've all heard about sports betting, but what about taking your chances on the weather? Placing bets on how much rain or snow a certain area will get is gaining popularity. According to one expert in sports policy, weather betting took off during the pandemic when most sports events were shut down. Weather betting is not regulated. Coming up in sports, local fans and former players gather in Pittsburgh to celebrate coaching legend Larry Garman. Plus, the Missouri Southern women aim to knock off 7th-ranked Central Missouri and pick up their 9th straight win. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more next.
Well, both the Pittsburgh State Gorillas and Missouri Southern Lions are on the road for conference doubleheaders tonight. Missouri Southern is in Warrensburg facing Central Missouri. On the women's side, this is a big one featuring a pair of top 25 teams. Central Missouri is ranked 7th in the nation. Southern is number 24, and they've won 8 straight games. First quarter, Lacey Stokes drives, flips it up and in. Southern leads by 3 after the first. In the second quarter now, Jennies keep it close. Ashley Toll finds Allie Vigil on the right wing. Knocks down a 3, game tied at 21. Other end though, Lions have the answer. Caitlin Honeycutt to Lane Skiles. Skiles knocks it down. Moso back on top, but the Lions trail by 11 at the break. To the third quarter now. Southern starts to close the gap. Stokes spins on 2 defenders. Puts up the floater. Gets the Lions within 2. Stokes finishes with 18 points. 4 minutes left. Stokes finds Lane Skiles, connects for 3. Lions down 4. Skiles finishes with a season-high 19 points. Check this out. Time winding down. Final 15 seconds. Southern down just 2. Stokes to Honeycutt. She drills the 3 at the top of the key. Lions take a 1-point lead with 9 seconds left. Southern goes to Warrensburg. Knocks off the Jennies tonight 72-69. In the men's game, Southern tries to sweep the season series from the Mules after beating Central by 8 in Joplin back in December. 5 minutes in, Avery Taggart off the dribble. Pull up 3, game tied at 8. Taggart gets a team-high 13. A few minutes later, Winston Dessaso finds Christian Bundy open on the left side. He'll knock down a 3. Moso up 17-14. Before the break, Taggart feeds Sam Thompson in the lane. Baby hook is good. Thompson gets 10. Southern up 7 at halftime. Then in the second half, ball knocked loose. Nongo Na with the dime to Bundy. Gets up and slams it home. Lions lead by 9, but the Mules stay in it. 6 minutes left to play. Gavin Pinkley connects for 3. That right there puts UCM back on top by 2. Mules rally to beat Southern tonight 67-59. As for the Pittsburg State Gorillas, they're in Jefferson City tonight facing the Lincoln Blue Tigers. Now, last time out for the PSU women, they saw their 7-game winning streak snapped, falling on the road to Central Missouri. So PSU tries to rebound today and get back in the win column against Lincoln. The Gorillas do win it 86-78, but check this out. Huge day for Corinna Gerber and Harper Schreiner. Gerber scores a career-high 31 points and adds 14 rebounds. Schreiner gets a career-high 30 points, going 12 for 14 from the field. Now, the Pitt State men have a chance to sweep the season series from Lincoln tonight. In that one, Gorillas not able to keep up, falling 90-71. Quentin Hardrick Jr. leads the way with 15 points. Marquis English posts 14 points and 6 rebounds. Southeast Kansas football fans celebrate a local coaching legend today in Pittsburgh. Former players, coaches, friends, and fans gathered today at PSU to recognize Larry Garman for his 60-plus year football career. He's been a Pitt State assistant coach for the last 24 years. Before that, coached at Pittsburgh High, leading the Purple Dragons to 255 wins, 3 state championships, and 21 playoff appearances in 31 seasons as the program's head coach.
I was always just one that, like every other coach, win the next game. That's all you think about is the next game. And we were fortunate to win some games, and it's a relationship with the players, I think, though, and the people that go with the players, the parents, and all that kind of thing. I think is what's really, really special.
Missouri Southern Lions opened the baseball season last night with a 2-1 win over St. Cloud State. And the Lions are right back on the field today, aiming for a 2-0 start to their schedule. Southern faces Southwest Baptist this afternoon. Top of the first, check swing pop up into left. Look at the Webb City kid, Tregan Parker, coming in for the diving grab. Game is scoreless going to the bottom half. Now, 2 runners on for Parker. He delivers at the plate as well, puts it all the way to the fence in the right field corner. Both runners score on the RBI triple for Parker. Southern goes up 2-0. Just 2 batters later, Tyler Ferguson fights it off into center field for the base hit. Parker scores, Lions go up 3-0 after the first. And we'll move ahead to the 4th inning now. Ferguson back to work. Pulls it through the left side for the RBI single. That scores Garrett Rice, and at that point it is 6-2. Lions would continue to pour it on from there, beating Southwest Baptist 12-2. The Pittsburg State Gorillas face Oklahoma Baptist tonight. PSU aims for a 2-0 start after beating Southwestern Oklahoma 2-1 earlier today. But this one went a little sideways. Oklahoma Baptist puts up 21 runs, beating PSU 21-4. Now that's a look at sports. We're back with more news right after this.
Bad sportsmanship in the bleachers turns deadly at a middle school basketball game in Vermont. Fox's Brian Ilias has more on the outbreak of parental rage at kids' sporting games.
The Alberg School, 45 Champlain Street, getting reports of a physical altercation inside the school involving multiple individuals.
Police are now investigating a brawl that broke out between parents attending a middle school basketball game in northern Vermont after a 60-year-old grandfather involved in the brawl died. Police say Russell Giroux called first responders while driving home and later died at the hospital. The local school district is now banning all spectators from attending middle school basketball games for the remainder of the season. It's the latest example in what the National Association of Sports Officials tells us is an epidemic of harassment and violence at youth sporting events between parents and towards officials.
I've been seeing it for most of the 4 decades, but never to the extent that we're seeing it today. It's never been worse.
It's gotten so bad, there's now a referee shortage nationwide.
Once in a while in life, you're going to get a bad call. You need to pick up the pieces and move forward. I think that's what we're losing right now.
According to the NASO, at least 22 states have laws specifically protecting sports officials from harassment or assault. New Jersey is now considering the Penalty Box Act, making assaulting officials or players punishable by up to 10 years in prison and a $15,000 fine.
Everyone who is just there trying to participate in a game should be protected from someone seeing bad behavior from the sidelines or being followed to the parking lot.
This Little League sign says it all. Please remember, these are kids, this is a game, coaches are volunteers, umpires are human, and you do not play for the Yankees. In East Rutherford, New Jersey, Brian Yennis, Fox News.
Up next, how a Missouri woman is grabbing national attention for her love of a specific Chiefs player. One Kansas City Chiefs fan admits some people think she's crazy for how she shows her love for the team. One player in particular. We can't say that about her, but it's definitely weird. Daniela Leon spent some time with Lisa Mitchell watching her do what she does.
Let's do another one.
Lisa Mitchell and Patrick Mahomes have a picture-perfect friendship.
There we go. I take him all around Kansas City and take pictures with him in various places.
She found the MVP at a jewelry store in Florida years ago, and since then, the dynamic duo has hit it off.
Some people think I'm crazy, but I just love it, and I love Patrick, and it's just fun. You got to have fun in life.
They do everything together, stopping by Grinter's Sunflower Farm, making FedEx deliveries, last-minute shopping.
Yes, he is, more than just a cutout.
But their favorite pastime?
Patrick and I have fun all over Kansas City.
Cruising through the city of fountains.
Go Patrick, go Chiefs!
And capturing pictures like this with the king and the rest of his kingdom.
It's Chiefs Kingdom, so we all love our Chiefs.
It's moments like this, she says, prove the quarterback's depth of field goes beyond football.
I'm a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan and obviously a huge Patrick Mahomes fan, so I just pack him up and off we go.
Yeah, I mean, that's a brand new flat Stanley right there.
That's a fan right there.
For
I think you're going to be a fan of the weather tomorrow.
Well, I hope
with
so.
Lots of sunshine and calmer conditions. Then on Monday, clouds increase, and then rain moves in on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then, of course, it turns cold again Thursday night, and so that means a chance of snow on Friday. And then the extended forecast looks like Super Bowl Sunday is going to be cool here with a high of 48 degrees, and then another chance of rain the following Tuesday. So not too bad of a forecast, but typical for this time of year, and also typical for the 4 states, of course.
Yeah, not bad. I'll take it. Better than freezing.
Exactly.
All righty. Well, that's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of Bobby, the world's oldest dog, enjoying a nice day outside. We'll see you back here next time. Thanks for making us a part of your night.